Hello, my name is Roman Gingiashvili, and this is the lecture and advice how to play King's Indian Defense. Now, there is a lot of theory in King's Indian Defense. What am I trying to do here? I'm not trying to challenge the modern theory. For those who play King's Indian and try to explore something new in King's Indian, and for those who were thinking and maybe are thinking of playing King's Indian but they don't think they are properly prepared. Well, here I'm going to show you brand new approach to King's Indian, like easy way to play King's Indian. I'm not gonna try to challenge most popular variations, because most popular variations you're likely to have your opponents follow all by the book to, in some cases, up to the 25th or 30th move. Here, what we're trying to do, I'm going to introduce you to almost on every system in King's Indian, something different. Something different, but at the same time, very playable. In a lot of openings, if you do something new, has never been played, especially if you are black, the chances are you are going to get pretty bad position. Everything I will recommend may not be the best continuation for black in King's Indian, but it's best in the way that you will play it, you will be prepared for it, and it's not very well known. At least you will know what your plans are, how to play this game, and most of the time this is a lot more important than play every opening by the book according to theory. Every position I will show you is not very well known for black, and every position is very, very playable. So let's start looking for one of the variations of King's Indian. G6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6, knight e2. Knight e2 move was very popular at some time for years, and black always had some problems equalizing. What I want to show you is a way to play against it without touching the main theory, without getting to the main theoretical continuation, and you will get very, very good dynamic play. On knight e2, if you look at the games, 99% of the time black castles. That's not what we do. What I recommend to play is c5. Now, and not after castling. If black plays c5, white has practically two ways to play. Either d5 or d takes c. Let's see what happens on d takes c. Queen a5 is not a good choice here, so we'll play d takes c, and after queen takes d8, king takes. I don't think white has any advantage at all. Suppose bishop f4, trying to castle long, knight c6, and after castling, bishop d7, and white's knight on e2 is not very well placed, and it's not very clear what to do with this knight. Now suppose knight g3. Now this position is very good position for black. I would say maybe even better for black because of highly unexpected move. Move like knight g4 looks like amateurish move and without sufficient ground, but it's a very, very good move based on concrete reason. Well, f2 pawn is hanging. Well, there's rook d2, e5, attacking the bishop. And now, after e5, white goes bishop e3 and lets us take this bishop. Bishop g5 doesn't change much because after f6, if white goes to e3, we're going to get almost same position. And if white tries f3, then we can simply take on g5 and go knight d4, having clearly superior position. But if bishop goes to e3 right away, this is also very comfortable for black. After knight takes e3, pawn takes, and bishop h6. White has to protect the e3 pawn some clumsy way. Black has two bishops and potentially good square on d4 for knight because e3 pawn is pinned, and bishop e6 also. Black is definitely having some advantage here. So, but I don't think you can really expect white to take on c5. White should go d5. But now you will see what is the idea of playing c5 in the early stage, because now we're gonna go b5 and we're gonna get variety of the Benko gambit. Well, obviously taking with a knight is not good for white, because after knight takes e4 we exchange the wing pawn, knight pawn, for a central pawn. But if pawn takes on b5, we go a6. And we see Benko gambit type of position with very, very bad knight g to e2 move. After we finish the theoretical discussion of certain variations of King's Indian, and I will show you some games typical to these particular variations. So what I am showing here, I played several games actually on the internet against very strong players, and most of them grandmasters, and every one of them failed to get decent position for white. Black has tremendous compensation here. We're gonna look at this position in the game section, which is followed the theoretical section of the King's Indian. So this is something that we should seriously consider. Here, knight e2. Remember, do not castle, although it is a main move, because after knight g3, c5, and d5, we cannot play b5 anymore because knight is going to take on b5. So we have to do it in an earlier stage, c5, d5, now b5. Now white has to take with a pawn, we go a6, and we're going to enter Benko type of positions. In the end of the DVD, I'm going to show you some typical games played with it. Now let's look at the system that